Kick an active light for the potato clip for the week.
Serving is one of the primary responsibilities of a disciple of Jesus. It's something that he gave us an example to do. It's something that he shows clearly that we ought to be doing. And he taught his disciples to serve. He talked about serving quite a bit. It's also one of the harder things to do because it requires so much humility. Whether it's a big act of service or a small act of service, whether it's directed at a friend or maybe even an enemy, it takes a lot of humility, and that's tough. I want to take a look at a specific way that we can serve anyone, especially our Christian family, and that's forgiveness. Now, I'll just tell you up front, I never connected forgiveness with serving, but I think it connects, and I want to talk about that in a second. But I want to start by reading 2 Corinthians 2. 2 Corinthians 2 in verse 7. He says, "So you should rather turn to forgive and comfort him, or he may be overwhelmed by excessive sorrow. So I beg you to reaffirm your love for him. For this is why I wrote, that I might test you and know whether you are obedient in everything. Anyone whom you forgive, I also forgive. Indeed, what I have forgiven, if I have forgiven anything, has been for your sake in the presence of Christ, so that we would not be outwitted by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his designs." In what Paul says here, I think that there clearly are three different ways that forgiveness helps. It helps the person that is receiving forgiveness. It helps the person that is forgiving the one that has done the wrong, and it helps the group. There's a communal aspect to this, though we are not outwitted by Satan. Now, Paul is saying to reaffirm their love for this person, to forgive and comfort this person. This isn't some hypothetical situation. He's not saying theoretically do this if someone happens to sin against you or live in sin for a while. There was a man that was part of this church that was living in sin, and Paul addressed it in 1 Corinthians. And now it seems like this person has come back. They had godly sorrow that led to repentance. And now Paul has to tell these Christians that they don't need to keep on heaping on sorrow. Instead, they need to turn, forgive, comfort, and be active in showing love to this person. That's really hard. It's really hard because as much as maybe you would like to do that for someone, when someone does you wrong, it's hard to forgive them. I wonder if it's easier to forgive someone that you expected to wrong you rather than someone that you never expected to wrong you. Either way, though, no matter who it is, we're supposed to forgive, whether they're an enemy or a fellow believer. Forgiveness is required. So here's how I think forgiveness and serving go hand in hand. Serving is to be done to benefit somebody else. It reflects on the group that we're part of, but it also is for our own benefit. It stirs something up within us, but also it's for our benefit because we're following the example that Jesus gave. Forgiveness is the exact same. Forgiveness is to benefit somebody else. It's directed at somebody that has done wrong and now is desiring to be made right. But it's also for the group. It's to reflect well on the group. And it's for our own benefit. We're to forgive to be forgiven. And it stirs something up within us. It does something within us that maybe we can't really explain, just like serving. So here's something that we can do right now. Maybe you don't know how to serve. You're trying your best, but you just don't know how. Well, having the heart of a servant means that you're ready and you're looking for ways. One way that you can serve is maybe just be ready to forgive. Have that in your heart. Be ready. Or maybe there's someone who you have already forgiven. You need to reaffirm your love for them. There's things you can do to make sure they know that they are accepted back, not only in your eyes, but you believe they are accepted back in the sight of God. So you're going to comfort them, truly treat them like a brother or like a sister. Or if they're an enemy, but you do forgive them, reaffirm your love for them. Have acts of kindness that you are actively trying to show them. I know that's hard. And again, it takes a lot of humility. But that's exactly what Jesus did. He gave us that example too.